everybody, welcome to Frame Trap. I am your host, Brad Ellis, and I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
And our guest this time is Michael P. Huber.
Onbu Black Ops.
Onbu Black Ops. Welcome to Frame Trap. It's a different episode today. You know, Easy X is going on right now. We're doing this live. We got one big game to talk about. One game we're going to cover as well.
Yeah.
You know, always. You know, might know a little bit about it.
Definitely.
Then we're going to talk about this new Zelda Tears of the Kingdom footage come out, so we're going to dive on that. But first, you know, it's Easy X. It's our 7-year anniversary. Feels good, man. Mm-hmm. And I asked some of the patrons and listeners some thoughts, you know? Some of their Easy Alley memories.
Well done, Brad.
Just a couple things, you know?
Excellent.
Let's hear from Colt Smith first.
Hell yeah. What up, Colt?
I only wanted to say a few things. 7 years deep, and I am so glad Easy Allies exists. You all have been there for me when I was going through the worst spot of my life. There for me constantly with hope, good vibes, easy alliances, good games, and movie talk. Love you all. Brad, you're killing it as host, and I'm so glad you got to hop out of your shell to do this. Next thing, sweet baby God. The Final Fantasy 16 stuff from PAX East was mind-blowingly cool, and I can't wait for this game. Yes. They're going to go slightly off topic, but I'll allow it. I'm going to allow it. It already feels like it could be at the top of my favorites list for my favorite franchise. Can't wait for that game. Lastly, wow, I have been loving Resident Evil 4 Remake so much. It's like going for a hangout. Yeah, it's like going for a hangout with your best friends after years apart. You may both be a little different, but something just clicks. If the gaming gods of Capcom grace us with Code Veronica Remake next, what would you like to see kept with the changes made? And would you like to see perhaps a RE5 remake down the road? Or do you think the game holds up well enough just to leave it as is? Thanks for the good time, Easy Allies. Keep it up. This one's for you. Keep being fucking awesome. Now, this Resident Evil question, we're going to save this for Resident Evil 4 stuff later.
Save it all.
This is from my Yuri P. Hey, Allies.
Sorry
for the long post, but this is the Easy A anniversary week, so I just randomly think about my whole journey with Easy A up to now. Like many people, my first exposure with the game is the Last Guardian / FF7 remake / Shenmue 3 hype video. I remember thinking these trailers are nice, but this Huber guy is hyped as shit. I then found out about Easy Allies and slowly watched all your content. This was back in mid-2017. I was moving overseas for college. Your love and respect attitude and welcoming community helped me overcome many of my own struggles during a period when I had few people around. Thankfully, since 2021, I've been blessed with a stable job and income that allowed me to give back what you all have been giving me, albeit only financially. I'm not very good with the words, so I can't express enough how much the works have helped me. So I'm just gonna say, keep it up, allies. This glass of healthy water is to you. This is from Jason Wojnar. Favorite Easy Allies memory is Jones singing Power Man 5000 to Ben Moore, and kind of confusing everyone. I don't remember this. I must have not been there. But
I don't remember.
No recollection of this.
I don't remember.
I'm sure Ben did like getting sung Power Man 5000 at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember this. Damn it.
Gotta listen to Jason where it's from.
Your concert?
I don't remember.
I thought he did other songs, maybe.
He might have done Power Man 5000.
Power Man 5000. Worlds Collide.
I remember this one. Favorite memory, Kyle summoning his steed in tabletop with the 1 minute cast time. I will never forget that. I do remember that. This whole forever. And it's like, Ben was like, oh, it's a minute cast time. He's like, oh, I gotta wait or some shit. It was good. Thank you, people, for writing in. I really appreciate it. We will keep going as long as you're supporting us. So thank you. All right. Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
Tears of the Kingdom, Damiani. We just saw footage, dude. I immediately have to hear your thoughts. What are you thinking right now, Damiani? How are you feeling?
They spent most of the time talking about this new fusion mechanic, and it looks like to keep up the tradition of the previous game in terms of like being creative. The game is about. I think they saw what kept Breath of the Wild in the conversation for so long after its release.
Yes.
Obviously, it was a huge release, a lot of sales, a lot of critical acclaim. But what kept people intrigued by the game I think was just the all the freedoms, but also what you could see, what you could do, and what you thought you couldn't do, and then trying to just mess around
just
with
goofy
that
shit,
and find those limitations. And now they're giving you this new core gameplay mechanics, like push that further, and also you got like sky. You can like travel up and down. You can go like they showed you can ascend.
Dude,
you need to get knocked off islands and just go all the way back down to the surface. It's like you can ride up rocks and stuff. So it's like they're giving you like a lot to work with in terms of like the exploration and the. And see what you can get away with and what you can do.
Let's talk about like the transitions, from sky to land. You said this is why it was taking them so long to make.
Oh, yeah.
And this is very impressive.
So two things, like you could go really high in Breath of the Wild and then you could just fall. But two things were riding up that rock seemed to be very accelerated.
Yeah.
So and
quick.
And having the whole world still like loaded, I think that was pretty taxing on them. And then two, when you fell, they were like, oh, when you figure out when you go, you can just like, hold down and dive really fast. I'm like, ooh, that's like, you can do that from all the way up top. I mean, everything has to load. That's probably was a challenge I had to deal with. Plus the fusion. Just being able to pick up more physics-based stuff, like just picking up almost any object and like go together, and it makes goofy-looking stuff like that probably crashed or looked wrong. I want to say like it'd be cool if they did like a behind-the-scenes video someday about like the making of. Like horror, like nightmare fuel things that went wrong and stuff.
Yeah, hopefully some GDC video or something.
So that definitely explains a lot, like some of it. So I can see. That like this looks very promising, and my fear about it being nuts and bolts, it's like it's not about finding schematics and having to build this stuff. It's like take what's around you and like you can do whatever you want with it. Like that the example of him crossing that little pond or lake, you could technically still go across it. You're like, it's gonna be slow, but if you want to speed up, you can make a raft. And then like, oh, but the raft, there's no wind. What do you do? I mean, I imagine you could probably like put up take a leaf and like do like swing to like make momentum. Like there's all like, I imagine he said there's many different ways to launch that raft at that point.
I'm already convinced this is going to be the greatest crafting in video game history. I'm already convinced.
Well, the first thing they crafted was a stick with a giant rock on it. That is the Mike Huber bait I've ever seen. No one likes crude, brutish weapons more than you.
Yes.
The other part of it was just, I think this might be how they're tackling this along with the other thing show, which is enhancing your own weapons with materials you collect that usually are for crafting or cooking, such as like the simple thing of putting like the choo-choo? The ice choo-choo like jelly, fusing it with your bow and arrow so that you can shoot ice arrows or an arrow with ice property to freeze an enemy. That probably is going to have some variety to your existing toolkit. Doesn't sound like they're adding too much to your toolkit from what they showed, unless there's more surprises that they're going to talk about. But this seems to be the way they're going to be handling it. Like, you have a homing, arrow with the eyeball, the
really
key eyeball on it.
I really like that. Putting that eyeball in there is like a homing missile. So cool.
I mean, they're probably I don't know if I didn't pay attention enough to see if it like when you fuse it, there's like a description or if it's like trial and error. Like just try putting things on stuff.
If you have a full note, if it keeps tracking like a notebook
that
or something.
That would be really cool.
It might be like the food recipes in Breath of the Wild. There's like some littered around Hyrule you could find to like make them, but they do encourage you to experiment, definitely.
Dude, yeah, like there's gonna there's gonna be crazy stuff because like they purposely did not show any like more advanced base weapons and trying to fuse. They're like, imagine getting like a flaming sword and then like getting an ice sword and like fusing them into like Darth Maul style, and you're in a room with like fire and ice enemies just going like taking them all out at the same time with that.
What he made he put like a big stick with a pitchfork, like a really long pitchfork. Damn, that's cool.
That was really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be that's what they want. They want you to see what you can do with this game, what you can imagine and try it. And they said like obviously there are some restrictions on things. Specifically, they're talking about like ascend, the ability if there's a ceiling above you and you have this power, you can like just shoot up. To a higher surface to bypass climbing, or as they said, sometimes it might be used as an escape tool, which is kind of interesting. That
you're going to get caught by the Yiga clan and have to zone out of there.
Probably. I mean, possibly. I mean, there's probably 100% probably going to be a boss battle where you're going to need to like do that to like dodge something.
Some burrowing boss.
I imagine something like that, which that was the one thing. Like what they showed looked very like promising in terms of that.
It was like more mechanics.
They definitely, AJ and Uma definitely referenced that there's a lot of other stuff that they're not showing. Probably will not show till you just have to play the game. So the one small disappointment I have is that, I mean, they might just be trying to hold it a secret. I feel let down that they're not even acknowledging that like they're gonna be dungeons in the game.
Right.
Like I just wanted to hear the word like there will be there. We're not gonna show them. Like we're not gonna show them all because we want you to find them. We're not gonna say how or anything. That's cool. That leaves it as a mystery. But my fear is that they have all this. It's gonna be fun, but like just looking at a lot of it, they've added more to the world. But I'm still worried about like the surface area, like feeling a little too familiar.
He said something about it like being very different or something.
So
like that.
I need to.
It's unfamiliar Hyrule.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see like some visual changes.
Yeah,
to, like,
we
the
saw
bigger
like
things.
we saw like the Twin Peak mountains and stuff.
So I need to see more of that to be more convinced. And obviously, I think only playing that's gonna really solve that, unless they did like a deep dive into an area, which they're not gonna do that.
No.
But also, like I just with no visible like acknowledgement of shrines returning and. You know, what's up with the Divine Beast? Like, what is the dungeon component? And it seemed to be like the most vocal ask of people. Like, oh, can we also get dungeons back? And there was like early in development, there were references to they were maybe going to do dungeons, like with the hiring they were doing.
Yeah.
So I have a little bit of an expectation there. So
I think that's fair.
Sorry to ramble here,
No,
but
no.
I feel like
We love the ramble.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a downer. But like, if there are no dungeons in this game, I'm going to be disappointed.
No, I think that's
It's gonna be a
totally,
letdown.
100%
I think that's
fair.
totally
It's
reasonable.
not being a
It will,
downer.
like there
It's
no
a
way
fair
this
ask.
game will not be better than Breath of the Wild in my mind if it doesn't have like some kind of dungeon or shrine mechanic.
I think
in it.
I think there will be.
Yeah.
We've seen like the Death Mountain with like the malice or whatever coming out of it.
So that's what I'm hoping. That's what it is. That
Yeah.
like different areas of Hyrule got like overcome by something, and now like all these islands rose up, all these new areas. So maybe that's where all these dungeons came from. They were just further underground, and now they've risen up and stuff. Or even if the sky areas are initially like they're kind of like dungeon like, where you got to figure out with puzzles and stuff.
I
like,
think
puzzles. That's the other thing. I need to see puzzles, man.
I think if they were going to save one thing and hold it back, it would be dungeons, because it's like the Zelda series fans want that the most. So it's like, imagine just playing Tears of the Kingdom and then just like stumbling upon a dungeon and you didn't even know dungeons were in the game. Like maybe they're just holding it back and they want like they love that sense of discovery. That's what it's all about. So
Yeah.
fingers crossed, Damiani.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
We still have time, I guess, for more Zelda stuff from them. We're more than a month out still.
Yeah, they still have over a month. There's nothing to say they don't do like a final trailer that like shows
Something,
a
some
bunch
sort
of
of hint.
stuff. Like the music they were using this, I can't remember if these are in the previous trailers, but the music, especially that was playing during the Switch OLED part, sounded like that was a trailer song. Like that would be like that is the trailer song. Like
The theme?
that, it was more, it felt more regal and epic. Potentially, it was like more low key at the part, but it felt like I can imagine this starting to ramp up and going in heavy.
Huber,
Yo.
when Link was in the sky on the island, you were like, I like this.
Yes.
You like Zelda a lot. You love Zelda. Every Zelda's a 10 to you.
Every fucking Zelda.
But you don't play Zelda very often.
when it comes out,
When comes out,
finish it.
yeah. You pretty
Park
much
it.
put it away forever.
Pretty much. The only one I've really replayed is like Ocarina
Yeah.
and like
Which is fine. I get that.
I think
I
that's-
understand that. You know?
Yeah.
Some games are like that for people, you know?
and Link to the Past, of course, replayed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, how are you feeling about this right now? Especially because you have been always afraid of creativity in the sense of building
Yeah.
in games.
Never
always
with-
in crafting always intimidates you.
Nintendo though always handles that stuff.
That's what I was going
the
to ask
best.
you. How are you feeling about seeing all this?
Feeling excited to get out there and just start like putting things together. Like I am so hyped on these mechanics. 10 out of 10. The only somewhat concerning thing is just the switchiness.
Yeah, the stinky switch.
You know?
Stinky switch, yeah.
Especially because, like, on its surface, visually, it doesn't look that much better than Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
And that was so long ago. You start comparing it to, like, 5-year-old games, 8-year-old games, visually. The difference, obviously, is the transitions and
Yeah.
that tech. But, like, from a screenshot you or just kind of walking around, kind of feel that.
Yeah.
The saving grace, though, always is how absorbing these games are, and you just settle into it, and you don't even think about the visuals really anymore because you're just so hyper focused on what to do next, where to go. Like, I can go anywhere, do anything, craft anything. Like like after a little while, you don't even think about the visuals because you're just so in it, and the art style, of course, it's like that saves it. But I am very, very hyped on every single mechanic I saw.
Yeah. What'd you think of the cute little Zonai robots?
Oh yeah, like that's kind of like the vibe they've been going with.
Yeah.
With, I mean, we've seen more traditional like goblin moblin style enemies. Now we're seeing like the more robotic stuff. Yeah. Like it's nice to acknowledge that. A thing I thought of, Huber, when you talk about like the visual stuff, like obviously people will be looking at that and comparing that.
Definitely.
It did seem like it was, running nicely.
Yeah.
For what they were doing at least. So
Jumping
maybe
off all the way
that's
down,
like the sacrifice they have to do is they couldn't really up the fidelity with how much craziness they're doing.
100%.
But this thing, I'm trying to be like more, objective and level-headed when thinking about this. Like because we just, and we're going to talk about it in a little bit, Resident Evil 4 Remake, about going back to something that seems so familiar, but they've changed stuff. It's kind of like the same vibes. We're getting in a shorter time frame with Breath of the Wild. We're going back to Hyrule, but it's going to be different. So it'll be fun to see, like, this is still the same, like, that area, but, like, what did they change here? Like, what we were doing with the RE4 Remake, I know it's the different context.
No. Yeah, I understand.
But I think they're also going for that. I think they Nintendo recognized that, like, maybe you don't realize it as a player, but they know you're going to feel that sense of, like, oh, that's so cool that they changed this up. And, like, I thought I knew this, but now I don't know this, and it's something you maybe just have to experience before, it seems like easy to be down on. Oh, it looks so familiar, but then you play it, oh, it's not. They've done enough to change it.
Silver lining for that with the wait. Like, now that we've waited so long for this game, like, that kind of helps that feeling, I feel like, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we've been gone from Hyrule for so long, like, it'll be good to go back.
Yeah, it always makes me wonder if I should even try replaying it, the Breath of the Wild before this, or maybe just like wait to jump into this because maybe that's kind of the part of this game is like, oh, it's meant to be like if you haven't played the original or haven't played it in a while, this is gonna be a nice like we're gonna get you familiar with Hyrule again. Don't worry.
I really like Link's hair.
I have been playing it recently,
Yeah,
so
you
we'll have
have.
both perspectives.
Hell yeah.
Speaking of like seeing stuff like what it's like now, my number one question is what's going on with Terrytown, dude?
Oh yeah,
Did it survive?
Did it survive?
It'll be the only place that survived. It'll be like it'll be fucking Minas Tirith of Hyrule, dude. Everyone will rally at Terrytown.
Why, I bet it's where you start the game.
Yeah,
That would be
dude. You have a house, dude, in Terrytown.
Well,
Let's
I mean, you
go.
have your house, but like you've
yeah.
been summoned there or whatever for like
Yes.
a meeting, like, and that's where they're like something's going on in Hyrule. We need you to go to the castle. We need you to go investigate. Dude,
Sign me up.
We know about the sky and all that stuff and the Hyrule ground level. We've seen brief shots of what we all assume is underground.
Yeah.
So now my question is how expansive all that will be.
Exactly. Like, is it just going to be restricted to like maybe like the opening? Like,
Yeah.
we were assuming that's the opening where the Link Zelda go underground. They discover something which seems to be under Hyrule Castle. Something happens and stuff starts happening in Hyrule.
The dwarves dug too
I mean, it's
deep.
literally
Dug up Ganondorf.
Yeah, Flame and Shadow, Ganondorf, man. But it's like, like in the original trailer, these things start to rise up. Like, is that what triggers the changes in Hyrule? There's like malice spread. Like, we see it starting to like climb up to the surface. Also, is that what triggers all these sky islands to suddenly appear? Like, why don't you see them in the original games? Like, where do they come from? Like, it's going to be kind of curious to see what's up with that.
Yeah, I assume they're just gonna be underground too, like the.
Hopefully
maybe
there's
not.
no like alternate dimension shit. Like let's curb that.
Yeah, I don't need that. Well,
Yeah,
there's
I don't
already
need that.
multiple timelines.
Yeah, I don't need that. I don't need
Yeah,
that.
it's already confusing.
Yeah.
We also saw some shots of the HUD. Like we still don't know. We saw like a like the L button was like a sword. It looked like the Broken Master Sword. Then one was like the hand.
Yeah.
Just a few other things we still don't quite know yet or
Yeah,
understand.
I wonder if that's how they're going to be handling, like, what were the
Sheikah Slate
the Sheikah
powers?
Slate powers.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's how they're remapping it to be easier.
Oh, sure.
Or if it's something on top.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, writing that thing up is pretty much like the rewind, like it looks like stasis, sort of.
Yes.
But, like, not quite. They said it's actually rewind. And in one of the earlier trailers, you do see that when, like, that thing rolls down a hill, Link, like, rewinds it back at them. So it's not quite stasis where you freeze it and you have to, like, hit it to build momentum. So I wonder, yeah. And when they said cross the lake, I'm like, oh, where's, like, your ice thing to, like, make the little ice platforms?
Yeah.
Is that, like, yeah, so, like, are those going to be gone? I don't think we've seen any of those powers being used in any of the trailers definitively.
I just thought, too, for the players who dislike crafting or the weapon durability so much, the fusion, I think, alleviates a little bit of that stress by being able to, like, all right, fuse this. All right, I got something
Around you.
around me that's like okay to attack. You know, I'm not like helpless out here. I think that'll help a lot of people deal with weapon durability.
See, like,
better.
an intense boss battle where it's like you're
Yeah.
about to break your weapon, like, just give me a pot or something. Like, that's what it looks like. Or maybe there's a boss you have to, like, break off pieces and you can start, like, fusing with them. So it's like
Fusing boss limbs together, dude. Like rip off some spider leg, just like.
I mean, there's totally gonna be a thing where you,
Crafting.
like, knock off a part of a weapon of an enemy, like a boss or enemy, and you, like, fuse it. Now, like, you get to use it against them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, dude, yeah, all that.
Damiani, is this the first time we're like revisiting the same Hyrule? I know, like, you know, Zelda 1, Zelda 2 is the
terms
same
of
Link and stuff.
graphical representation.
Yes, that's what I meant.
So the only similar one is A Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah, that's true.
You have that.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, they're pretty much visually. It looks very familiar. So
Yeah, fair point. I forgot
But
about
I mean,
that.
it's not as, like, back to back like this. Like,
Right.
Technically, Zelda 1's area is in Zelda 2's overworld, but, like, you don't literally get to go. It's like, you know, RPG looking overworld map now. It's not like top down, you know, adventure looking map anymore. So that's like a technicality. It's not actually there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like A Link to the Past and Link Between Worlds. Link's Awakening is its own unique thing. Majora's Mask is its own unique thing. Ocarina of Time, you could argue with Twilight Princess, but, like,
They're so far apart, though.
it's so far apart, but, like, there are some parts that sort of
like
line
the
up.
geography is, like,
Yeah, but it's
similar,
like not exactly the same.
No, yeah, it
Hyrule
doesn't, like,
whatsoever.
look the same, you know?
Oracles, you go to two different lands. You don't go. You're not in Hyrule. Minish Cap is, like, its own unique one, and then the Wind Waker, you know, unique as well.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, Skyward Sword unique as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, they really have only done it, like, once before, and it's like was in, you know, like, handheld 3D. It wasn't, and one game was 2D. So this is, like, the first time major 3D large scale world being like revisited. Like, Ocarina of Time and Majora, it was like reusing same assets, so it it felt very familiar, but obviously Termina and Hyrule were, you know, different layouts.
You brought up the durability earlier. Like, durability doesn't bother me in it. I know it does a lot of people, and you said that too. I think there'll probably be a little more stuff. I think that's a good point of saying you can just kind of use this to have stuff at all the time, anywhere you are, just random things.
That'll help.
I think there'll be probably a few things kind of like the Master Sword in Breath of the Wild where it
An extra
breaks,
thing,
but
yeah.
it, like, rejuvenates itself.
Totally.
Like, what we're assuming is, like, the Sheikah slate powers. There was, like, the Master Sword thing. Maybe there'll be some sort of thing you use with that.
Yeah, I'm very curious if there'll be potentially, like, permanent fusions.
Yeah.
Like a blacksmith of some kind, potentially, where if you bring them certain ingredients, it will, like, enhance your weapon with that attribute and not be temporary anymore.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, you want a flaming sword, but maybe they just don't drop anymore, and you're constantly having to add, you know, fire stuff to your weapons to give them that. It's like, man, I would really just like to have one. Like, well, if you bring me enough of these things, I will make one of them permanently have, like, flame on them and stuff. And if maybe they can also repair any of those types of weapons, like if they do lose their durability, bring me back, or maybe you have to recraft it again and bring back those raw materials.
Yeah.
But that was what we were kind of, when I looked over to you, Hubert, in a trailer, like, I think this game's gonna have, like, a really serious resource economy.
Yes, big
Like,
time.
maybe not, like,
I'm
money,
so
rupees,
excited about
but,
it all.
like,
My God.
yeah, I think you're gonna be spending a lot of time having to, like, you know, seek out certain materials. So
Yeah.
I hope there's a good way to track all of that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I totally agree. I guess I'll just say about this overall is I think the strength of Breath of the Wild, the first game, is the traversal and navigating through Hyrule. I think it's, like, the best part of that whole game. And this to me just looks like it's adding an extra layer on all that. Like we still have a lot of the familiar stuff of Link climbing just normally and like riding your horse.
Glider hype.
But yeah, glider hype, of course. But now we're just getting more hazards, I guess, and more creative ways to get across them. I'm really looking forward to seeing some sort of obstacle that you have to traverse that we've never seen before of this, like, whoa, what is this thing? Like, I can't just jump across this, like, what crazy things we're going to have to build. Like, just seeing how many different ways there was to get to the sky of, like, the block thing. Then we saw Link with, like, a hot air balloon. Then he was, like, some hovercraft thing. I hope they still manage to make traversal a huge part of the game and feel like a rewarding to go. I don't want to, like, just build a chopper, you know, super early in the game and, like, no problem navigating the world.
I don't know if you caught it. When they made that thing that started to fly in the trail in the gameplay demo, those batteries drained ASAP.
Yeah.
So I think early stuff is going to have severe limitations for like the battery life. It looked like he barely could get off the ground with it. I was like, oh, that's how they're going to cap you early.
Yeah, I was going to say, I need that progression of you getting stronger at traversing itself. Not necessarily your character leveling up, but I think that's like a huge part of the progression in the game is just navigating the world and being able to do it better. So I hope they nail that. And it looks like really good. I'm impressed so far. So
I want to know what the fate of the master cycle is.
Yeah.
Like where all
you'll probably get a glider.
Yeah, where are all my champion powers? Like where's Rivali's
I was like, they were talking about that. I was
essential.
like, Rivali's Gale, easy.
Yeah, where's Rivali's Gale? I just want to go up, baby.
Yeah.
It's like, did they do a Metroid where
I think they're gonna
loses
take
all
that
his
away.
powers?
I think the Sheikah Slate's gonna like break or something probably.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning of the game. So Link won't have that. Or Zelda will have it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it's with her, and no, you don't.
Because I think they've shown art of her with like a newer Sheikah Slate, and it looks like a Switch now.
She got the Pro.
Yeah, she got an OLED.
Yeah, she got the OLED.
Slate.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll be doing that stuff if you play as her. But
It's time, dude. You gotta play as her.
yeah, I mean, I think
Count
it
it.
should be fun to have sections of Zelda. Like, cool.
Count on
Especially
it.
if they're like more puzzle focused. Maybe I don't know. If she has like Sheikah Slate powers, it could be really cool.
That could be why they're not showing it, because only Zelda does the dungeons.
Maybe. Damiani, I wouldn't be surprised if there's Zelda-only dungeons.
Dude, Zelda and like the Yiga clan and like gets all cheeked out and shit. Cheeked out.
Shit.
Let's go.
It begins.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Sheik returns.
Yeah, and I'm just curious to see what, like you said earlier, what other characters are going to show up, like the newer champions and all that stuff. What familiar faces will be around, you know, Impa and stuff. Whatever her like granddaughter's name was too. I think that's her granddaughter. Just to see who comes in and helps Link on this new adventure. And of course, the story elements, you know, how the story will be delivered this time instead of
yeah, because no more
big
Amnesia
questions.
this time. Yeah, you can't
big
use
questions
that
about
again.
that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to have something else, you know.
Yeah,
and they
how it's
better.
gonna work
Hopefully,
out.
they figured out how to tackle.
Yeah,
how
hopefully
they're
it'll feel a little better.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts or anything like that? Are you good?
I just want to know if they have any enemy that'll be as imposing as the Guardian. Like initially, like you just know there's like
you
don't want to
when you see one laying there
it's like,
moving, you're like, oh geez. Yeah, I hope
like
so.
we haven't really seen that equivalent yet of that
Yeah.
menace. Yeah.
Yeah, anything, Huber?
Just can't wait, dude.
Can't wait.
I want to like be in a dungeon, fusing items.
Fusing boss
Yes,
pieces
dude.
together.
Yes.
Hell yeah. Okie dokie. It's time for Sort It Out. If you don't know, Sort It Out is a segment where we just complain about something that we are not happy with in the gaming industry. It could be a game, company, whatever. It doesn't matter. You got anything?
E3, dude. Sort it
Oh
out.
God! Literally just took
Sort it out or hang it up.
pretty much. I mean that's
That's it.
It's a walking corpse.
It is. Yeah. It's a walking corpse.
I don't know what the hell is, dude. Huber, yeah. You got anything else you want to say?
That's it. That's it. Is
I just don't understand.
shut it down.
Like I'm almost speechless. I don't even know what to say anymore.
yeah.
Like not only the fact that we had like two more companies on top of yesterday, Ubisoft pulling out. Not only Ubisoft pulling out, but doing their own event, which is like a live thing, like a presentation and like apparently in person thing same days as like where E3 was going to be anyway. They just don't want to be at E3.
Yeah.
Wow, it's
And
like some
now-
E3
They're like down the
stink on it, dude.
Yeah, and getting
Yeah.
2 more companies today, Sega and Tencent saying
What?
no.
Yeah.
Sega,
More.
they're pulled out. And
Everyone else is like, I
mean,
don't know.
I told you I heard another one, but like IGN saying like they're hearing from a lot of publishers like they're just like
no.
what they have no idea what's going on. And last week the story at GDC was it even like Jason Schreier was like saying like I was asking that question about E3. What are your plans? People were like, don't know. Like, we don't,
no.
like, it's like. Yeah, and people are like, apparently a lot of like the publishers are just like getting radio silence from the ESA and ReadPop, which that's really surprising.
Wait, they're getting silence from the ESA and ReadPop?
Yeah, like
The reports, apparently?
like they're not. Yeah, like they're
Wow.
not. Yeah, the communications like breaking down
no.
there or something.
Communication
so
breakdown.
That's weird from ReadPop
Yes.
because they run other really great conventions. Like, so I have to believe maybe like they were like ESA like. I'm still gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and think like something's like it's the ESA's fault with this, like
Hamstringing
And
them
I
somehow.
imagine at some point this gets messy. Like if E3 just doesn't even happen this year, like you're gonna hear like a statement repop like we tried to do everything, but like ESA sucks or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabby has a comment from chat that she needs to share.
Okay.
Hell yeah, do it.
Slideaway says the 3 in E3 stands for 3 games at the show.
Harsh.
That is harsh, dude.
Ouch.
That's harsh.
Just last night during the group stream, I was like, a couple of the big hitters like Microsoft, Nintendo, them step out of E3, and then it falls to everyone else to kind of like
Step up.
steal the show. So I thought it was going to be like really good for everyone that's not like the biggest game studio. But now it's looking dire, and even all the, the mid-level and the
Yeah.
indies are dipping out too.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of conversation about how expensive it still is to do E3. I thought the ESA would work a little bit to like maybe try and get as many people back, but like you should. I was saying like previously, make concessions.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do to
Yeah.
get everyone back. Ask for like what are your kind of like your list of demands, and let's try and like meet you on some of these because we need to get this back. And it's just not happening, it sounds like. And yeah, I was saying like joking like it's only gonna be a bunch of indies there, but it sounds like it's too expensive for them.
Yeah.
So there's like gonna be like no one there. I was saying this would be as bad as E for All Year 2. That might actually be better now at this point.
Year 1 was MGS, right?
Yeah, that was a good
Yeah,
in Smash
yeah,
Brothers
yeah,
Brawl.
yeah.
Like
Yeah,
that
they-
was a good year.
you
That's
play-
not gonna not even close.
Then you play MGS in like a trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MGS4 in a trailer with headphones.
Sick,
Dude,
And they like no tutorial, no preview. They're just like, here you go.
Cool.
Yeah, sick.
That's awesome, dude. Shit.
But yeah, this is very
That is the sorted out.
but also
It's Keely's time
The whole-
now.
yeah, the
Again,
hopeful thing is, like-
Keely's got it on
yeah, maybe
lockdown.
Keely's got some scoops, and also
Yeah.
hopefully these other developer publishers they decide to do their own thing, and it's still going to happen during that time frame. I think that would be like the biggest like kind of like slap in the face to E3 is if everyone still does something within like a 2-week time frame. It's like you couldn't even they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, you couldn't
Why
convince
didn't
them
they
to
want to
show
go
up.
to your show? Like what was wrong? Like what is the problem?
Stink on it is so
Yeah,
funny.
dude. Yeah, it has
And
a
like
stink
this,
on
this
it.
talk about like, oh well, like next year. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like if it goes this, like if this is how it's playing out this year, I don't see how like this turns around at all.
No, I
I think like
Yeah.
GG.
I think it's GG, yeah. Unless, like you said, Damiani, that they just like bow down and say, "Please come. What can we do to make you come to us?"
I think it's too late to do that for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like next year,
I mean,
like,
for next year, yeah.
I think at this point, like it'd be more feasible for like Keely to just like try and round everyone up. Like, do you
I
really
agree.
like what do we want to do something more than what we're doing right now? Like, let's make it happen.
And he
Like,
has such a
or
good
someone
relation.
new, or
He has such a
someone
good
new, yeah.
relationship with all the devs and the higher ups at all these studios. Like, I imagine they trust Keely more than the ESA by far.
So man, it's so funny because like ESA, we like they're backing out of E3 because they like something. Apparently, it's like potentially something is wrong with ESA in involvement in E3, how they're running it supposedly. But then so many of these companies turn to ESA when it's time for like lobbying time for like it's like I don't know, man.
Yeah. It's a ugly situation.
It is.
Sort it out.
Sort it
sort it out. For real.
out.
Neo JK wrote in, sort it out. Games that require you to make a brand new account just to play it, even if you're playing it solo and offline.
Yeah, sort that out.
Sort
Yes.
that out. Dude.
Hate that shit.
It's
What-
annoying, dude.
Sucks.
What was the last game that did that? Damn it, I can't think of it.
It was like some Capcom ID thing or something.
Maybe, yeah. I forget.
Yeah, I remember like Bethesda accounts and stuff. And
That was it.
Ubisoft
Yeah.
accounts.
I think with like when Doom launched or something.
Oh, did you have
Even
to?
like it was like the 1990s Doom 1 or 2.
Oh.
Yeah, like original, but they got rid of it. But
Okay.
Initially, I think you had to. Remember that?
Yeah, that was true. That was true.
yeah,
They
Yeah,
did-
making
they
you
did
jump
it.
through hoops, dude. It's like I already bought your game, dude.
Fucking play this on DOS. Like,
Yeah.
why are you making me do this?
Alexander Rozirionov wrote in shot caller.
Shot caller, dude. Zirionov carried us to victory in Fortnite. The Play With Us tier. We did Fortnite. Zirionov was calling out where to go, calling out enemies like a general, like perfect.
Commander, yeah.
And we won like 3 out of 5 games. It was amazing.
Sort it out. Video games need to stop limiting the number of save slots that and allow you to have as many saves as your free space allows.
I agree.
Pokemon.
I want to
Pokemon.
be able to easily go back to my favorite moments, not to desperately think with saves to overwrite next. Sort it out, please.
I agree. Yeah.
I think that's fair, dude.
Biggest Fender Pokemon.
Pokemon? What do you get, like 1?
They get 1.
Dude, Breath of the Wild, you get 1 per difficulty.
one.
You get 1 normal and 1 master mode, yeah.
That's a game I don't
I
know
had
if
to, I had to erase my previous save. It was okay though. I was like, whatever. But it's like I had to, you know.
That
Maybe if you make a different account, I guess you probably could, you know.
Yeah.
that
like,
is
eh.
so weird.
It's Switch.
Is that a hardware limitation
No.
or something a little more
No.
insidious? Like they
Well-
want everyone in the family to have their own.
I don't know about Breath of the Wild, but Pokemon, they claim it's for like prevent cheating online and stuff.
Okay.
But like
Whoa.
it doesn't stop shit. So it's just
Jeez.
about them controlling.
Now it's time for Keep It Up.
Keep it up.
The exact opposite. Something we are pleased with.
Glass half
wish.
full.
So the pre-orders just began at GameStop. If you're listening,
Okay.
still have a
If
chance.
you're live, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're watching live, yeah, there you
You're
go.
alert.
There you go.
I'm going to say keep it up, okay? So I watched the Final Fantasy 16 PAX East thing. Mm-hmm. Very good. They showed a lot of footage I didn't see. One thing they did, they had the PlayStation 5 there, and they played on it, and Koji Fox actually like grabbed the controller and moved Clive around really erratic, and he's like, see, it's live. We're just making sure it's all live, free to go, dude. Just showing, there was like, they were talking about how the game had chance to crash and everything like that, and when it didn't, they're like, oh yes. It was just like, I love that raw energy of playing it live. You remember like old
rules.
E3 videos of
Yes.
like the game would just like they'd fall through the floor during the stage demo. I get it sucks if you're like marking your game with someone, but I also love it because it's just like it's so real. It's such a work in progress. It feels so authentic. I love that.
I agree 100%.
Until your Wiimote doesn't work, Miyamoto gets angry.
Miyamoto didn't know what to do. Yeah,
That one makes me uncomfortable.
yeah. He's using a Wiimote. He's using a Wiimote, dude. You know, they're just playing like on a controller.
Oh man,
I heard.
I don't want to think about it. Seriously, I'm uncomfortable just thinking about it.
I heard with the 16 thing, Yoshi P tried to. Was it in that part or in a video where he tried to pet Torgal?
It was
and
in
he
that
actually-
whole thing.
he
It was like
actually-
near the
he
very
accidentally
end.
attacked the
He
dog.
like it doesn't hit Torgal. But
I
yeah,
know, but
yeah.
I hit the attack button.
Yeah, Koji like
instead.
hit him after. There's like 3 pet animations too. I was like, oh, sick, dude. Like Gate fed him a treat, dude. I was like, hell yes. Anything from you dudes? Anything? Like,
Keep it up, Capcom.
I feel like that's a common thing.
Keep it up.
And they're doing very good. The only thing I'm like skeptical is about Exoprimal. I'm like, I don't know about this yet.
Did you play it?
No.
Everyone who did
Okay.
was very
great.
into it. The beta, everyone was like, yo, that was very fun.
Okay.
boy.
Love
Yeah.
to hear it.
That's-
I just
Exoprimal
hope it's
and Street
not
Fighter
2
VI.
hours of fun. Do you know what I mean?
Always. Very
2 hours, you
easy
could have
for a
2
game.
hours of fun with a game pretty easily.
Very easily. It's how it holds up the
longevity.
whole way. 100%.
Anything, Damiani?
Besides Capcom,
Yo, second keep it up, dude. Keep it up, Damiani, with the Stranger of Paradise hoodie, dude. I wish I had that. That's so sick, dude.
Where's that sequel
The back is
announcement?
really
I'm waiting for the sequel, dude. Bigger budget, give it more time.
What if they moved to like a different game?
A different Final Fantasy game?
Yeah, instead of just like
They go to
basing on
2 or
one.
something?
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Do for every Final Fantasy game, dude.
And Jax is a debut.
Dude, yeah!
That would be awesome.
That would
It's
be
just
awesome.
always Jax.
That would be sick, Damiani. Shit.
Turns into just Kingdom Hearts.
I would love, dude, put Jack in Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
I'm not kidding, put him in there.
Yeah, dude.
All right. This is from Neo JD. Keep it up. Open beta / demos. I know you gotten this one a lot lately, but I gotta bring it up again as Diablo 4's beta introduced me to the franchise and now I'm buying the game. So way to go, Blizzard. Yeah, demos are awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in a resurgence of demos and it's been really good. And I think Capcom and Square Enix have led the way on it for the most part.
Absolutely.
Good job, both of you. And yes, Diablo beta was good. I played it also again.
Nice.
It was super good. Necromancer is tight.
Nice.
This is from Andreas Kleenthaus. I always say his last name wrong. Sorry. Keep it up. Remakes with Resident Evil 4, Final Fantasy 7, and Dead Space, to name a few. I'm really enjoying these classic games getting a second life. I still want Dino Crisis, Metal Gear Solid, Jak and Daxter, and a few other games from my PS2 childhood days to get the remake treatment. But I've still got Silent Hill 2 remake to look forward to. Yeah. So keep it up remaking some of my favorite games of all time. Love and respect and happy 7 years, allies. Here's to 7 more and beyond.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love and respect.
We appreciate it. Yeah, lots of remakes. But I'm not complaining because we still get new stuff too.
Exactly.
Capcom, remake, new game. Remake, new game. They
Yep.
like to alternate.
Yep.
Which is great. I love it.
Code Veronica's next. It's going down.
I hope so.
Count
What if
it.
it's 0?
There's no way. It's Code Veronica next, and then
5?
something. Nope. They're going to do 1 before 5. They're going to do 1 again.
Remake 1? Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
You do Code Veronica, then 1. Or Code Veronica, 1 or 2 other things, then 1.
How
Before
crazy is
5.
that? Like, I
before
wouldn't,
5.
I'm down for a remake of a remake.
Same.
Because it's like, it's going to play completely different.
Completely. You do
It's
the
gonna
over
be-
the shoulder, because
Yeah.
then you have the whole.
Then you also do the VR mode.
Exactly. Let me just open that front door in VR, dude. Let me
Oh
just
my god,
walk
the
in.
dude! Let the dog maul me in VR. That's what
Break
I'm
that window.
dude.
Let the
Yeah,
Get
dude.
spray all
eaten
over my
by
face.
Yawn or Neptune in VR.
Let me pour the fuel on a corpse and light it.
Yeah, the lighter.
Yes, dude. Let me like bend
Haptic feedback
down.
on the lighter.
Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah. We got some shout outs now. Some of our most generous patrons on there. I forgot the tier. I think it's the platinum tier now. I could be wrong.
Platinum producer.
Platinum producer. Anyways, thank you to some of our
Thank
most
you.
generous patrons out there.
So much.
We got Jabbawabs, Elthanas, Greg TheDarkKnight Kettering, Raymond Wheeler III, and ZeoVGM. Shout out.
Shout out.
You don't have to do it like that on this show.
It's EasyX, baby.
Yeah, okay.
It's EasyX.
Yeah, you do you.
Yeah.
You do you, man. All right. It's happened. We've all played it. Resident Evil 4. Huber, we've played this many times, actually. We were fortunate enough to get this pretty early. And I think they were justified in the confidence of this game. This game is sick.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4. Damiani, please start. Let me know your thoughts, because I know Mike's thoughts. Tell me, what did you think about playing this game? You love the original. You were a little skeptical, you know. I would say all of us were to extent, but
Yeah.
I gotta know what you think.
Bad.
Never skeptical.
Real quick, I for some reason, Hubert, I didn't think the castle part was that as long as it was in Remake when we were playing through it in the first playthrough, but replaying it, it feels so long. The
Yeah.
castle. I was like, wait a
castle's
second,
long.
this might be the longest part of the game. Holy
You're probably having
crap.
way too much fun in the castle, Damiani, so it flew by.
That's what, yeah. So like for
that's
me,
probably why.
I was like staring at every
Yeah.
painting for like 5 minutes. Cause like this is so sick.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah, I feel like I was like in short term. I misremembered already. I was like, dude, this is long. This takes a while. Did the same thing, dude. Non-spoiler. I won't say what it was. Same side quest I forgot to do on my second playthrough. Even after I got it, I was like, dude, just remember to do this one this time. I forgot to do it. I already saved to the next part. So I can't go back. I was like, God, I'm so dumb, man. This game just tricks you. I was like, it's so much fun.
That's so good.
It was, yeah. Anyway, I have to say, this game is so good for people who played the original one. I imagine it's great for people who've never played RE4 as well. Like, it seems like a fantastic first experience as well. But the way they balance keeping familiar elements, but also mixing in new original stuff, they did it very well. I think they nailed that balance, because you'll go through an area like the easiest one to start at the beginning, because this is like it's okay to talk about this specifically.
Yeah.
But like walking up to the first house, you know, it's a little bit different how you walk up to it, but then you get to the house, like, oh, it looks so familiar from the outside. You go in the interior, and while some of the room with the kitchen looks a little familiar, like the layout's all different now.
Yeah.
And then you go to the village, and it's pretty much 1-to-1 for the most part. But then you go to the next part right after it, which was like the farm area, and that's all completely different now. Like, they've rearranged everything there. It's like, it's not quite the same. But then like you'll go to the part that leads up to where you rescue Luis, and it's like, oh, this is the same. Like, like they have the same traps, the dynamite throwing, Ganados, and then like they have. I won't say that. But like they do a really good job of like, this part is exactly the same. This is different. Oh, but like then you get to another familiar area, but like where it doesn't get like, I don't think it doesn't drag it out too far. Where like, oh wow, it's feeling really like too new. It's like almost like a different game, and it's like, no, I remember this. It's good.
Yeah.
So as much as they like go so far as rearranging the way you go through some of the familiar areas, whether it's we said it 30 times by now, after you meet the the merchant in the original one. Yeah, it's like Stranger. That should be his name, Stranger. After you first meet him, you go through the valley to get these two emblem things to put together. You go through that backwards now.
Yep.
And I was like, oh wait, we're going through this reverse.
Yeah.
One area is just flipped. I was like, oh shit, it's just, they just mirrored it. I was like, I get it now. Or just taking familiar parts, familiar rooms, and changing when you encounter them, and just playing with those expectations.
Combining
like, all of this, going through all this in real time is just great as a veteran. Because it's the wonder of an amazement of seeing what you already know just looking so much better, and all the new mechanics thrown in, like how much, how great Leon feels now to move around.
Yeah.
It's no longer like stiff tank controls. It is actual modern gameplay. You got like the parry. You got more weapons. I mean, the only thing I will say, I love all this, and like, and then mixing all the new stuff. The one thing I will say that didn't really add anything to me, and I think it felt more impactful in 2 and 3, because I think those are smaller scale, both of them. They're not as big as 4.
Right.
Was the ammunition crafting. I know you love crafting, Huber.
Because you didn't buy the TMP, Damiani.
No,
I'm serious. I'm serious.
No, I don't see how it does anything different than hiding more ammo around or something. It's just another collectible you have to get.
Well, because it gives you the option.
It gives you the option, but like...
And it was so good because on my playthroughs, it encouraged me to use so many different guns.
I guess
like I never had the problem where I would just like kept getting the same ammo. I kept getting gunpowder and crafting materials, and I always had those choices where I was like, all right, my inventory is pretty full. I need to like get rid of some of this. I'm gonna craft some TMP ammo because it uses those large resources which start really clogging your inventory. And if you only craft rifle ammo like you were doing, it's like 12 or like 10 or 11 or something. It's like a lot of gunpowder. Whereas a TMP,
10 and 1, and shotgun's 12 and 1.
You can just like keep crafting that shit.
Yeah.
Did I want pistol ammo or did I want to save for the shotgun ammo? I liked all those choices rather than just like breaking a barrel. Here's some bullets that you can use, or here's some shells to use.
I guess because I knew what I wanted to focus on, and I didn't want to like branch on the other
That's fair.
stuff. It didn't really add anything other than now I got some extra stuff in here. So okay, it is cluttering my inventory.
Yeah.
So it didn't feel like I wasn't feeling rewarded for it. But I do
get that.
I do acknowledge though.
I acknowledge you
I
too.
think the reason they're doing it is because they wanted to give people the choice.
Yeah.
If you want to go this route, let's make sure you have like that ammo. So I get that a little bit.
Yeah. I think it's a difficulty thing too, on what difficulty you play on. Like, since we played on hardcore, and I did use the TMP too because I just wanted to try everything. I definitely ran into several occasions of me having to decide what to make
Yeah.
based off what I had. I was
Absolutely.
like,
Oh,
do I need this?
And then
do I want to do this?
The bonuses factor in too, the little
Yes.
charms. And
Yes.
It's like, well, maybe I should craft some pistol bullets here, get a little extra.
Yeah.
so I felt that more in 2 and 3.
Got it.
I definitely felt that more in 2 and 3, and I played those both
Well,
on
I think
normal
2 in a
difficulty.
sense is
Survival
just
horror, baby.
far much.
Yeah.
2 is like way less action as itself, and like one guy in 2 is much more of a threat than one villager. It feels like most. of the
Yeah,
time.
so that's
And Leon doesn't have a parry
Or
in
a
2.
roundhouse.
or a roundhouse or anything like that.
so like I think it's the style of game is just different.
Yes.
So it felt like while this is true, both what you both are saying, I feel like it's kind of diminished a bit because of the structure of this game in the wide berth of things you can do in it compared to 2 and 3. I just think it's not as potent as
Got
I
it.
felt in 2 and 3.
I get that. I feel that for sure.
How did you feel about like the story and the tone of the game?
So I gotta, I obviously will not spoil anything, but I really like almost everything they did with the story here because it is still pretty much paying its respects to the original game.
Yes.
For them, and the things they change, it fits in with the vibe they're going for with this. Everything followed its own rules, and it felt great. And specifically, one major character, I really liked their rework in this, and how their story played out compared to the original one. There's only one character I feel like. But you said it like it could be DLC that maybe
Yeah.
fills in some stuff. But there was one character who felt a little undercooked.
I agree.
And they did in the original as well, but they still feel undercooked here. And I'm like, they need more. They definitely need more.
Big DLC.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know there's
I'm
gonna be
hoping. I'm hoping, Huber. That's
big one,
That's the
dude.
case.
big DLC.
'Cause I liked your theory about the two other things we talked about.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't really know like what else to ask you about it. Have you messed around with New Game Plus and stuff, like all the unlocks?
So it's I like how how big this game is. Like the time requirements for like the highest
Long
ranks
game.
are like very high.
What was your playtime?
Oh, was
Do you know?
23 hours
Okay,
or
yeah.
something. Yeah, it was 23 hours. And even on the second playthrough, I'm like already at like 8 hours, and I'm just at the somewhere through the third section.
Got it.
I'll say that much. So it's still pretty lengthy, although I'm not trying to race through it or anything
Right,
yet,
yeah.
but I imagine on subsequent playthroughs after this one, it's going to go a lot faster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm trying to build up resources because there are some things you get in New Game Plus. One of them is a certain infinite weapon, and
Cool
I'm like,
weapons. Cool unlocks.
I
fun
want
unlocks.
to save up. It's very pricey. I like the economy. I felt
The
like I was
treasures are
always
so fun.
yeah, and the treasures, like not only does it retain like being able to fuse them together, but balancing. Huber had to point it out because I knew different color combinations, like it was like, almost like poker, like different values or like, same, like multiple of the same color will enhance it like higher. But I didn't know like the ones further to the right of either the circular or rectangular ones were more valuable at the
those
base
yellows.
level, like yellow circles and the red, like square rectangular ones are the most valuable. I was like, oh, that starts your base price higher. So even with the multiplier, this is gonna pay. I was like, oh my gosh, like there's a lot to go with that as well. And then having to have the tune-ups, repairs, like
Side quests.
adding side quest in so you get those rewards, the trade system on top of all of that.
Oh, that was great.
And
too.
then how they expanded the rewards for like the shooting gallery, because that was in the original, but this is more substantial.
I just want to talk about how this game is so playable for like every type of video game player out there, you know? And I always love Resident Evil 2. It's like my favorite ever, you know? The original, the remake, I just fucking love survival horror, that slow-paced vibe. But like, that's not for everyone. Just like Remake original is like not for everyone. I've seen people, I've seen a lot of people talking about it. I read a comment where someone was like, yeah, this game is way too old for me, so I downloaded a mod to skip all the door animations. And I'm just like, for me, I'm just like, ugh. But it's like, yo, I get that. Resident Evil 4 is just such a universal pleasure.
Yeah.
Like, how the pacing of this game, how sucked in everyone gets. Like, people, we always talk about, like, percentage of players that beat a video game, and it's like the high is usually like 30. It's like, wow, a lot. People already talking about like, yo, I'm on my third playthrough, fourth playthrough, like gotta get these unlocks and just replay. Like, that is so special and so rare for a game to be this popular among so many types of people, and I love it.
I want to talk about Ashley for a little bit.
Sure.
Because initially, how it works now with her AI. You can't just order her to stay put anymore.
Not very often.
She either
You can, but not
there are spots where you can tell her to wait in something, but like in the original game, at any spot you can say wait here, and she would just stay
This
there.
was bugging you, Damiani. This was bugging you.
That's not a problem so much anymore.
Okay.
She only has like stay with you or hang back, which you get used to. You were right. The more you play with that,
Hang back.
The thing is,
good.
sometimes,
Hang back.
sometimes you saw it alive, and like if she's still doing it on my new game, like
Some
Plus,
Ellie shit where she's
she
like,
runs, she
Yeah,
runs in
yeah.
front of you. I'm literally aiming and shooting, and she's not in my line of sight, and she'll run into my line of sight. I'm like, whoa, shit, Ashley, like what the hell? Like behind, like why are you running in front of me and stuff? So like I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a patch to maybe just clean it up a little bit where she'll never run in like front of you. Like if you issue like the hide, she will stay out of your line of sight. Yeah. Basically, the AI needs to be tweaked that she'll never run in front of your line of sight when you're aiming and shooting.
Have like a cone.
Like
or
either she
something that
ducks
never-
or like she'll like she's supposed to like duck and go to the side. But there's too many times she was standing up and like running in it. I'm like, no, bad. I was like, this is the best.
Damiani had the Punisher with the penetrating bullets, and as she's getting carried away, and Damiani's like, boom!
Ooh, shot her dead.
Stray bullet.
But that was fair. Like that's like us.
Yeah,
like,
I accidentally
that's
shot
your
her.
gun. Yeah, but like
times, I
you're like you got to run up and like knife them and stuff. Like I got better. Like I learned those rules. At least it explains it. But this was just something a little different. But besides like that aside, there's a handful of moments, Brad. It wasn't that terribly often. Besides that, you get used to it.
Yeah,
like
I agree with that for sure.
You just gotta play a little bit. It'll adjust. And I liked her characterization changes.
Yeah, me too.
It felt much more. We were talking about like bonds, but also you feel this is a character who's going through a lot of trauma. Like she's in shock at her situation, and she feels like she's reacting a little bit more naturally to what's going on. Like
I think everyone is in this game.
yeah, it is. And it's nice to see them going through it, and like Leon recognizing like, oh, like let me help her out in these ways. So it's
Good guy, Leon.
I have such a soft spot for Resident Evil 5 because when it came out, it was the culmination of the story.
Yeah.
It was like, it had the most story. It leaned into the characters the most.
It was payoff.
Out of any Resident Evil game up to that
Because you never get payoff in Resident Evil.
You never
games.
got payoffs, and like, all hell breaks loose, so you don't get too many quiet moments, but like 5, you get a lot of good moments
Dude.
with the characters.
I would argue most Resident Evil games, you don't get payoffs from any of them, really.
Yeah.
It's like Revelations 2. What's happening there?
Revelation.
It's just like
Dude, it'll come
Umbrella just gone. You're like, what? It's just like
I hope Revelations comes back. But I just want to give so much credit to the remakes for giving us the best versions of these legendary characters.
oh, you mean like their portrayal?
Definitively, yes.
Oh, sure.
In my opinion. Like, I think Remake 2, Remake 3, and Remake 4 easily has the best portrayal of these characters.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Joey Traverso wrote in, "Hey allies, I have a question about the Resident Evil 4 remake. I've been interested in playing this game for years, but I feel ready to pull the trigger now. My question is, should I play the remake or the original first? I want to play both at some point, but I want to play in the order that will maximize my enjoyment. Would I appreciate the remake more if I play the original first? Would the original feel too dated if I were to play it after remake? Thanks so much. Love and respect. Keep up the great work.
That's a very tough question. Because usually I'm always like, play the original first, go order of release.
Yeah,
but this moment, Brad, I don't know, man.
If you want to be with the zeitgeist, I guess, you would play the new one. I think the original game is still very playable today.
Oh,
You could go back and play it. It will just feel stiff in some ways, especially Leon.
Yeah.
You'll feel way more stiff.
Yeah.
But they're different. To me, it's like Final Fantasy VII and Remake. They stand next to each other. And one does not replace the other.
Yeah. Resident Evil never burns me out, but I can't speak for you. So I would worry that when you beat the original and you hop into the new one, if you would feel kind of like
If you do it
a little bit of fatigue.
Yeah. Like
you
back to
know?
back. Yeah.
Like if you go into the new one fully fresh eyes, never even played it whatsoever, I'm like 52-48% remake.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
For curiosity's sake, I'd love to see someone play remake first and then hop into OGRE4 and be like, to them, it's like now the parts that were originally like in there that have been changed now we've flipped. It'd be like, oh, RE4 original, that part's new, and I'm like, oh wait, but just hearing someone talk about it that way would be kind of a trip.
Totally.
But yeah, that I agree. Like playing those two back to back is a lot. But I will add something. I love that we have RE4 remake. And I mean, I don't want to say like I wanted to wait longer for it, but of like how they've been doing these, I personally don't think 4 needed a remake just yet. I think I believe a little bit more that 4 holds up is very well. I know it has the tanky controls, but like
no, I think that it holds up more than like Code Veronica.
Yeah, it's like
and
so
stuff and
for me, it's like so easy to go back and replay. Whereas like everything pre-4 for me is a little tougher to go back and replay. They're still great games, but
which ones?
Everything pre-4 is like harder to go back and get into. And so I feel like
don't hurt me.
2 and 3 I feel like 2 and 3 benefited the most from a remake because they're so vastly different. Because like how fundamentally far apart they are. Where 4 to 4 is like not that big anymore.
Because you retain the same camera.
Yeah, like it's
and
when we get to 5, if they ever do 5, it's gonna be even weirder. It's like this. Like I would almost be like okay with them waiting. Like if they, I think
Code Veronica then 1.
Yeah, I think Code Veronica or 1 should be next, and 5 needs to be like. Wait at least like maybe like 10 I can wait 10 years for like a 5. It's fine.
I mean, if they did Code Veronica and then like Outbreak and 9 and then 1, I mean 5 could be at least 5-6 years away.
I want them to redo 0.
Yeah, maybe they'd factor.
I think Code Veronica is more important.
It'd be cool if they did Remake 1 and 0 was like a massive DLC or something. Because I really like remaking all of 0.
Dude,
is weird.
Why is that weird?
It is like an extra mode.
0 just weirds me out.
It's a weird. That's what I'm saying, man. It needs a remake.
Yeah.
This what you do. You do remake. You do one of two things. You either add it on to remake 1.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because I hate the idea that Rebecca fights a fucking tyrant and then goes into the Spencer mansion and is just like
you retcon it, dude.
Yeah.
Hubert, would it be like you have like all like in like 2 like Leon, Claire, and Jill? 1 like Jill, Chris, A, B, whatever. Now you add in like Rebecca A and like.
Oh no, you would do Chris and Rebecca, then you do Jill and Barry, for like if they remake 1, those 2 together. More so,
but also to throw in 0 as well.
Campaign.
I'm talking about like 0.
Zero is so big though. Zero's a big game.
I'm talking about a big rework where it has some original, like maybe it has.
You keep the train and like a little more, and
but then
that's
you end up in the Spencer estate still, and you'll like there's cross. Yeah,
dude, they're not gonna retcon Marcus. Leech Man.
I mean, 0 itself was a retcon already, so it's like.
I mean, this is their chance to like,
canon.
The fix. No, I mean, make new canon.
Oh no, they already are.
Yeah,
the remakes are like.
But also, the only other way I can see it do it is like it's like the base game, and then there's like an extra mode. Like it's like actually it's not DLC. It's like separate ways included. It's 0 or Operation 0, blah blah blah, whatever, where you get to play their campaign.
Long ways away for that if it's even a thing. We got bigger fish to fry. We need Marvin Branagh front and center on an outbreak Outbreak game. Let's go. You make him the star. You make Marvin the star of an Outbreak game.
Yeah, that'd be an expensive game.
They got to do Code
Make it
Veronica next.
then that'll be their, the white whale of their live service or some shit. You get some, future like new campaigns or whatever being added on.
We'll see how
I don't know.
Exoprimal pans out.
Yeah.
Jack Lore wrote in, RE4 Remake has been a blast, but I wish they had Jill's dodge from 3 Remake. I do think it's cool that both characters have their own defensive mechanic, though, so if Capcom decides on remaking either Code Veronica or Resident Evil 5, what defensive mechanic would you want Chris to have? Same question goes for Claire or Sheva.
In 5.
In Code Veronica, okay,
Or
if they remake
5.
Code Veronica,
Okay.
what defense thing would you want Chris and Claire to have that's different? And for 5, like Sheva. Obviously, I think if Chris was just a punch, he's done it before.
Yeah.
I would love to bring back Remake 1
The grenade?
defensive items. So like Claire gets grabbed and she like sticks a gun in the zombie's head and like shoots it or something, or like a knife or
That's
something.
kind of what the knife is now in Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
I would like. Huber, how about for Chris? I don't know about Claire, but at least for Chris, because of how freaking strong he is in 5. 4, you can't counter grabs.
Yeah.
When they grab you, you can, but like you can't do anything once it leads up to it, so you're gonna take some damage, and you can't parry them. So you can't parry grabs in 4 Remake. What if, because of how strong Chris is, he has like a melee counter, and it's like something you can do as well. I would like something like that.
Sure.
Especially like if you were like with like, since you can do co-op. I mean, it'd be cool if your partner could like, I like those partner combos. Like there's partner defenses as well.
Dude.
Like cover me or something.
Some big hammer comes, but if you're both together, you can
could-
like
yeah.
somehow do
Yeah.
something with it. That'd be sick, dude.
I don't know. Like that's the only 2 things I can think of is like partner combo defensive stuff, or Chris is so strong he can like counter punch someone trying to grab him, because you can't do that in Remake right now. It's like the only thing you can't do.
That one legendary fight in 5
Wait for mercenaries.
where you like one person like holds the person.
Yeah, yeah.
And then other
I think
person-
that's cool.
I love that shit so much. Oh,
That works in a co-op focused game.
that's one of my favorite boss fights of all time.
Starving Artist wrote in and said, "Hey allies, I'm very excited to jump into RE4 for the first time. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the future of Resident Evil remakes." We kind of touched on this, particularly 6. As someone who got into Resident Evil on the Resident Evil bandwagon from 7 onwards, I know very little about why 6 is bad, just that the general consensus is it is bad. Do Capcom need to completely rewrite 6 for it to be the same level of current crop of RE games? And can you see 5 being released next year, similar to how 3 came out 2 years after 2? Cheers and kind regards. No.
Code Veronica's next. I promise.
I feel like it has to
is
be.
for
Yeah.
sure next. I am so confident
It'd be
about
so
this.
weird to skip to 5 and not have like what's going on with Chris. Yeah.
Yes, I'm looking at all the lore right now. I got all my lore laid out in my brain, and it makes so much sense to tell this story next. Code Veronica, 100%. I need it.
Yeah.
And 6 is criticized. 1 for the story is super annoying. I do not like it. I'm not going to get into spoilers on that. And 2 for me as well, because you'll get the defenders. The defenders of 6 love the movement and dodging around and the melee. Actually, really cool melee in that game. A lot of defenders love the combat system. For me, the combat system is unnecessary because of the way the encounters in that game are set up. They're uninteresting encounters. So many encounters. Fundamentals are the most efficient way to progress. I always think of that. Every time I bring it up, I always think of the
Our
gun
playthrough?
shop.
Yeah.
The gun shop when enemies just like slowly walk in.
Yeah, it's pretty
Stand
boring.
in the corner.
Yeah, a lot of the encounters are just
pop.
kind of boring.
Like you never need to Max Payne dive.
Yeah, you
It's
don't.
unnecessary.
Like, I guess it's cool you can, but you
Yeah.
never, like... It's not like Vanquish, you know?
Yeah.
Where I'm doing cool-ass shit.
you
Because
need to. And
But it's
and
like- it's
efficient.
effective. It's
It is
effective.
very effective. Yeah.
And,
Devil May Cry.
I just
effective.
think 6 is just kind of too bloated. There's too much. There's too much going on. There's too many characters. There's like 6 characters in the game you can play as. It's like that's a lot, man.
Campaigns are like going back in time.
Yeah, it's just a lot, dude. It's like
lot.
hard to get invested in like one campaign when it's just hopping all over the place.
Yeah,
it's just overblown. It's like Call of Duty at moments. You know, like obviously 4 is also at some parts, but it's like this is just a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Like I'll never forget Leon running from the chopper and like the like the Michael Bay shit going on.
It's the jet or some shit. That
Maybe it's that. It's just it's just too much. I think.
It's like what is that disaster movie like 2012 or some shit? It's like
it's just too much. There's too much going on in that game, I think.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. It's time for some emails. If you want to send an email, going over to patreon.com/easyallies. Support us. You can join the tiers, send in stuff, the $5 tier, right into this show, the Easy Allies podcast, other things. We got polls on there all the time. You can join our Discord also if you want to chat with awesome people. It's a good time. So head on over there. All right. This first question is from Son of Sparta. This is a game, actually, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Guess the games with the highest first-year revenues of all time. Hey, allies. Today I have a relatively straightforward game for you. Guess which game had the highest revenue of all time in their first 12 months. The numbers are mostly based on reported earnings, with a couple having estimated earnings on top of that as well. I've linked to the source at the end of this message. Anyway, let's get to it. So, I want you guys just to kind of guess what you think. There's 12 games on this list. So I just want you to guess some games. What you think.
All right. How many? Let's get some of the Call of Duties out of the way.
Modern Warfare 2.
No.
Fuck. What was
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019.
The first one.
Okay. And then
That's number 4.
And then what was like the most recent Black Ops, or what are they all?
I mean, Modern Warfare was the newest, and before that it was
one before it?
It was like World War II, or I can't keep them straight right now.
I'm gonna say there's no other Call of Duty on this list.
Oh, really?
This is just for the first year. Revenue.
Okay.
I mean,
Keep that in mind. I know, but some games,
Cold
Call of
War.
Duty,
It was
like
Cold War. You're thinking
okay,
of.
because Call of Duty is like always
some of
the
these
best
games have
selling
been going
in
on
the-
for a while.
Okay, because Call of Duty is always like the best 12 months.
Is there a new Call of Duty coming out this year or no?
The rumor is it's like an expansion kind of thing, but we'll see.
Oh,
Okay, so
yeah.
First 12 months revenue is
Diablo 3.
No.
is Animal Crossing on there?
Yes.
The newest one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Number 5 with
Horizons.
2 billion USD. Call of Duty was 2.05 billion USD.
All right. Let's get a
Destiny 2.
No.
all right. Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
No.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
You know it.
Yeah.
Number 3. Estimate. I don't know if these are necessarily in the order from the most earned, but they're on the list.
Okay.
GTA 5 is 2.1 billion USD.
Okay. What are you saying, Hubert?
Fortnite.
Yes. 2.8 billion estimated.
Is Minecraft on there? I mean, I don't know about the first 12 months, unfortunately. Yeah, I think it was probably so. All right. Is
Genshin Impact.
Yes.
there you go.
Actually, Genshin, I think, is the number 1. 3.7 billion USD.
Billion. Billions.
2.3 bill reported plus 1.4 bill estimated. Dude, the power of waifus and
Money.
husbandos is too much.
Money. Get paid.
Anime,
Get
is too
paid.
it's too powerful.
Holy crap.
Paid. Dang, I don't know.
Wow.
Let's go through, like, what are the...
There's some games on here.
Apex Legends.
Let me see.
Yeah, like
Great
Apex,
guess.
like League.
League.
No.
League's the first 12 months, though, I
True,
don't think.
true.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Good call.
Both
like-
of those are not.
I mean, if
12
Animal Crossing was only its number, then, like, there's probably no Pokemon on there.
Oh, there's a Pokemon. It's Pokemon Go
Okay.
with 1.5 billion USD.
Yeah, that actually...
There's some games on here I would not guess.
Is that Crossfire on there?
No.
Damn.
Good guess.
Um,
Breath of the Wild, just because
No.
no,
it
it's
sold
not
so
high
many.
enough.
No.
If Animal Crossing was that, but
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
below. The only other one possibly could be like Mario Kart 8, but I don't think its
No,
first 12 months were enough.
I'll give you each one more guess. Then we'll just kind of go through it.
Okay.
One more game.
One more game.
Some pretty sick games. Some games you like, Huber. One game in particular.
Oh, baseball or sports game.
Oh my God!
No sports
NBA
game.
2K something.
No, damn.
Frick.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna say Elden Ring because it sold 1 trillion copies. Okay, I give up.
Okay. Damiani, you got one more? Are you good?
Oh, I said sports stuff. so I
Okay.
thought that was it. Yeah.
So on the list,
Great guess. NBA.
this is all according to Game Rant, okay?
okay.
So we got Genshin Impact, 3.7
Well, you
billion.
gotta start at the bottom. Start at the bottom.
Okay. I don't know if this is by
Yeah,
earned,
it
but
might
we'll
be out of
see.
order.
Let's just go. Pokemon Go, 1.5 billion. Lineage M, 1.2 billion.
Lineage.
PUBG, 1.25
God,
billion.
yeah.
PUBG.
Puzzle and Dragons, 1.3 billion.
Was it a mobile game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Candy Crush, 1.35
Oh, God, yeah.
billion.
Fucking mobile, dude.
Monster Strike, 1.5 billion. Red Dead Redemption 2, 1.65 billion.
Are you serious?
Animal
I
Crossing
didn't say it.
Horizons, that's why I was like 2.0 billion. 2 billion. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2019, 2.05. GTA 5, 2.1. Fortnite, 2.8. And Genshin Impact with 3.7. Pretty nuts.
That is nuts. No Monster Hunter on there.
Well, I mean, these
No.
are making billions, man.
This is all in the first year. It's just the first year.
Billions.
Okay. This question is from Sekiro505.
Sekiro 505.
That's right.
Hesitation is defeat.
Always. Hey, hello, Alice. I wanted to ask what games have made you change the way you play games. For example, thanks to Sekiro, I have learned to better parry attacking other games. Or learned to better parry attacking in other games. Thanks to Dark Souls, I have learned to be patient. Thanks to Hi-Fi Rush, it has helped me have a rhythm in games.
Demon's Souls.
That's my answer too.
Yep. Demon's Souls. Oh, this shit's impossible. Let me be patient. Let me just level up a couple times. Mm-hmm. Taught me fundamentals, dude. More than anything.
I'll say about Demon's Souls, what was really standing about it is, yes, it was a very challenging game and demanding. It came out at a time when games were like holding your hand the most.
The most
Yeah.
8-hour first-person shooters.
Yeah, where it's like super pretty, like obviously there's harder difficulties in challenging games, but
Yeah.
this is like a big game that was very unheard of at the time for I guess From Software wasn't AAA at that point. You know, like Sony published this in Japan, but not here because they didn't believe it at all.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Big mistake.
But it
There
was
was
just
some
kind of like
redemption there.
that's like a huge reason why it made a ripple and a splash, because it was so unlike so many other games at the time.
Totally. Yeah, it just taught me to read games better,
Yeah,
I guess.
exactly. Yeah, I think so too.
It raised my gamer IQ.
It brought me back to NES era of games of me just like getting my ass kicked all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, dude. Like I had Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden like 3 on NES, dude. Brutal at the time. You know, I was playing Castlevania,
Dang.
brutal. But it definitely took me back to that era of, I gotta take it slow and take small steps and learn things. Mm-hmm. What about you, Damiani? Is there anything?
I mean, earlier on, I can definitely remember the jump to like Metroidvanias with Super Metroid, and later like Symphony of the Night. About it's not just about linear progression anymore.
Yeah.
Like that was like a
You gotta figure out what to
big
do.
deal. Because even like Mario 64, like 2D, it'd be like, well, you played Mario 64, like, well, that's still linear progression. Like, it's a big 3D environment, but like you still have like a single objective.
Yeah, you
You're
go in
not-
a painting, they tell you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This was like, imagine if like that, like we didn't have open world yet. That's like would have been the equivalent of that, where it's like you got to keep track of everything. So just being like, oh, I don't have to reach a goal. It just keeps going, and like this, you come back to this area again. Wait, what? Like, okay, this is interesting. So, like Super Metroid, the first one was like. I mean, Metroid did that. Super Metroid did, but it was really like Symphony of the Night, where it like kind of like elevated that a little bit further. I was like, dang, I was like, this is really crazy, and I just appreciate that because he just so commonplace now. But I can definitely remember that jump of like linear level based games and jumping into this is you can go all over the place now. This is insane. Yeah.
Weird fact, but fun fact. how I found out that Symphony of the Night existed. I didn't know it existed at all. Is my brother, who like doesn't play games like really at all, saw a commercial of it, and he's like, "Have you seen that Castlevania commercial? This new Castlevania?" I was like, "What Castlevania game?" And he's like, "Oh, it's like called Symphony of the Night." I was like, "What?" I had like no idea this game existed.
So sick.
When I like found out what it was, obviously, and I
Yeah.
played it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Find a magazine, dude. Go
Yeah.
to the game
Why didn't
store,
someone
see
tell
the
me about
box.
this sooner.
Yeah, it was crazy. Wow.
Dude, no internet. So insane.
Yeah.
So
You know, one of
insane.
those magazines.
Like if you didn't have a magazine or you didn't see a commercial for it,
Dude,
so insane.
Old school. The going to a
So
website was
insane.
me going to like the store, like
So insane.
Blockbuster,
So
to
insane.
get the magazines and
So
thumb
insane.
through them
Yeah.
and stuff
It's
like,
so weird.
yo, where's the news?
It's so weird.
dude, I remember Damiani
So weird.
before Twilight Princess was out, like the EGM with like Twilight Princess on. I was like, oh, let's go, like
Yeah,
information.
because even like the early internet was like that shit loaded slow, didn't have a lot of media on it, so like magazines were still better. It's
Yeah,
like dude,
sure.
they got the screenshots.
they're still getting scoops,
They
dude.
got the artwork. Yeah,
Not only like Game Informer gets scoops now, kind of.
that's right.
All right, this is from Bam541. Hey, allies, I've been playing Chia since it released, and I can't help but be enamored by the musical section in the game. It's relatively straightforward rhythm gameplay, but there's quite a lot of work being put into the actual songs themselves and the cinematography of the scenes that accompanies them. It's a fun and jolly way of showcasing the culture of New Caledonia, the game's inspiration by making us partake in it. This and other activities in the game make it feel more like a virtual tourism game rather than just a typical open world. I was wondering if you guys have any other examples of games that achieve a similar tourism feel to this, or if you guys have any ideas of places you'd want perfect to be used for a tourism game like this. Obviously, we all think of Assassin's Creed tourism.
Yes.
That and Hitman.
And Yakuza and Shenmue.
Oh,
Yeah, just taking you into these small spaces.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed, though, is perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
they have
Assassin's
tourism
Creed's
modes
like-
built
Yeah.
in.
Love
Yeah.
that shit. So cool.
that's the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you going to play Chia, Damiani? It seems like a game you'd hop into.
The earliest I saw it before Bulworth. I was like the first one to see something. Of
Get
it.
wrecked, Blood.
But no. And I talked about it with Blood, and Blood like loved it, and Blood took it from there, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, it's
Ball and
out
ran.
now.
yeah, it's out.
I want to play it, but I just.
I was
haven't
gonna.
done
I want to
Yeah.
full play it on stream.
it. Okay.
I think it's a fun stream game.
Are you cashing checks right now?
Oh,
Are we writing checks right now?
Yeah, I'll write that check.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll write that check.
Hold him to it.
Make it out to chat.
Hold him to it. All right.
Yeah.
Neo JD wrote in and said, with Spider-Man 2 being rumored for a September release date, do you think Xbox moves Starfield? Starfield's like what, September 9th or something? Something like that.
I don't know if those games step on each other's toes too bad, but I imagine Starfield's gonna get bumped. A little bit. A little bump.
No, yeah, I think
They're giving it that
I
3-week
think
delay.
Starfield could use all the time it can get,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, just based off their history.
Whoever that comment was from like a year ago, that was like 11/11/23, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, 'cause it's the Skyrim date.
Yeah, I'm sticking with that.
I feel like it's just too big of a release for Microsoft to take any chances.
Yeah.
That just play it safe. I mean, unfortunately, like, yeah, it's a combination of like Sony first party exclusive and it's Spider-Man, which is still like huge. Like it's like kind of a 1-2 where you really can't compete with that.
Yeah, we've seen this
Yeah.
happen to Sony a couple times.
yeah
They got
live on the other
stepped
side.
on by
Horizon.
Breath of the Wild, then Elden Ring.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, Horizon's done very well for itself and sold out, but it's like, I feel like each of these companies obviously wants the conversation on their game.
There's definitely still a lot of
But
eyes
like,
looking at.
maybe Sony would move Spider-Man. Who knows? I don't know. This game, it's not
You know,
officially
yeah,
confirmed.
Marvel doesn't move. You don't need to move.
I don't
Okay.
think Spider-Man can move.
Yeah.
I think it's too big. They'll be
Too big?
fine wherever they put it.
Marvel's huge.
The only thing Spider-Man should not go next to is, which is not Tears of the Kingdom. That's the only game they like
Yeah.
would like not want to be.
Yeah,
near.
no one's going to that
Yeah,
game.
but otherwise,
Even
I
like
think it's
Final
fine.
Fantasy would be like
Yeah, they don't want any part of
intense.
that.
Yeah.
They're a month
Yeah.
later.
But that's also so close to E3. Like I don't think they're gonna like.
Dude, this year is
I mean, sorry.
crazy.
E3 is like like E3. We just trashed on it, but also like it's a time where a lot of like the reviewers are busy, so it's like you don't want to dump too many games. I mean, it's really Street Fighter 6 and Diablo 4
This
and
year
Street
is
Fighter 6.
crazy.
Like, you don't need to dump another game.
Dude!
You're good. You're good. You're good.
Oh my god! If Starfield is a fucking 10, Spider-Man 2 comes out, dude.
But I
this
thought
year.
everyone said the servers aren't going to work at launch.
Will it run?
Will it launch?
Will it launch?
Will it launch on startup?
Yeah, they're pretty different games.
Super different, but
Still, yeah.
Yeah,
marquee.
If one comes out like the first week of September and the other is the end of September, I think that's a good enough time. If they're within like a week of each other or 2 weeks,
Sure.
they need that 3-week barrier.
They're so different, but I imagine they're both
Meaty.
meaty.
Yeah, I bet.
For
I'm sure Starfield is very enormous.
Yeah. Like even Spider-Man is probably going to be like 20, 30.
Yeah.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
No Miles Morales, trim the fat.
Oh, Miles Morales.
It's going to be, dude, I want co-op open world.
I know.
I don't think the game's co-op.
I
Have
know.
DLC.
Maybe.
It's going to be probably changed. But if there is any kind of co-op mode, I'm there day one, dude.
Yes.
I'll do it.
The final question is from Brandon Ray. Do you feel like nostalgia gives certain games an unfair edge? I feel like my enjoyment of Resident Evil 4 Remake is 3 times greater because the game essentially plays with the player expectations to create an experience that is impossible for a brand new game to top. I felt the same way with Final Fantasy VII Remake. There's a new high for me when a game both delivers a beautiful experience on its own while tapping into nostalgia. It's why I'm enjoying Resident Evil 4 Remake more than Village, for example.
I definitely think it's a factor.
Interesting question. Sure.
Yeah, nostalgia, we're only human. Definitely. And, Resident Evil 4 is so special to so many of us. So, like you said, just like
Yeah.
you're coming home in a way. It's like you get to experience this thing you love so deeply, but it's like somehow new again, which is awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call it unfair because both the examples, RE4 and Final Fantasy 7, took risk.
Yeah.
When you change, there's no guarantee that...
You hold it to a
was-
higher standard.
There was no guarantee it was going to play out that way, where it's like, oh, it played my expectations, and I like that. It could have played your expectations. Like, that sucks. Like, why did you mess with this? Like, you ruined this game now. Like, that's absolutely a possibility.
I've seen some takes where people are like, yo, I like the original more.
Yeah, and there's,
like, all
there's
right.
still going to be people like
Yeah,
that. So
I've seen it.
Yeah, so you have that, and even if the dominating opinion is that it was a good payoff, that's still a big risk to take.
Yeah.
So it's not a foregone conclusion. So I like that when they take risks that change up things, and it gives that player that unique experience, a veteran player that otherwise a new player would not have that experience. Like, that's very rare.
Yeah.
It's like I liken it to. It's like playing the game for the first time
Yeah.
again. You can't just wipe your memory.
Remake 2 was the biggest trip because it went from freaking PS1 like polygons to like I'm in the RPD.
Those are the best. Like
oh my God.
those the multi-generational
Yeah,
gap
yeah.
remakes are like the best. Yeah, that's why whenever you see one of those, like that's like even like it wasn't that big, like but like even seeing like Link's Awakening like tweaked, it was like nice to see that. But like RE2 is huge, and Final Fantasy Remake was like huge, like because of
Yeah. God.
So I'd definitely be down for a few more of those.
PS1 cloud versus, PS4 5 cloud. It's like, what?
Yeah. Before we go, Dawn, are you there?
I am here.
I want to check in with you on some of these things we've talked about today.
Okay, shoot.
It's Dawn time. First,
Dawn time.
give us some like Zelda impressions. How are you feeling after you saw that footage?
Okay, sure. Here's how I'm feeling. What I'm excited about first. Okay, they're showing off the playground nature of the game, which I like. The crafting seems pretty fun. The building seems very fun. I like it. What they didn't show, though, I'm a little surprised since they didn't go into things like dungeons. Are they there? All that stuff. They're showing off this other aspect of the game, right? And it looks good. But, like, for instance, where they show the shot, with the little sailboat and they attach the 4, kind of like the hover sailboat. That's a rad vehicle. And they show it hop on the little lake and start coasting. That's cool. The part I didn't see is, like, the most fun about a sandbox is the exploration, then the playing around within the environment, right? So I didn't see yet traversing the environment in a way that was, like, anywhere in actually that whole gameplay thing where I was like, oh, that looks just extremely fun to do, right? Now, I'm sure it's there because look at the map from the first one. It's just the terrain, the design of the terrain was like a joy to traverse, Even when they came out with the motorcycle DLC or whatever it was, it was super fun and it worked that way. So I'm excited about that aspect of it. There was a, familiarity to it, of course, obviously, that you wonder, will the excitement be there? I think it will. So that's what I'm, I guess, feeling overall. Like, like there's a familiarity to it, so like you didn't quite feel the magic in the same way, but at the same time, that familiarity was a good, satisfying feeling. You're like, I can't wait for the controller to be in my hand and me doing this very thing I'm seeing. Yeah. So it's like it's going to be a joyous thing you're experiencing, but you don't know about the surprises yet, So I'm curious about that aspect of it. I still think they haven't revealed so much of it.
Nice.
But I guess those are my thoughts on Zelda right now. Excited.
Okay. Do you have a sorted out this week? Just leave it on you, dude. Just keep that camera on you, Don. Let him see you.
The only thing I wanted to think of, the thing that when I thought of the sorted out, when they showed that OLED trailer, and I said, boy, that's going to be a good feeling, swinging by the store, picking up that pre-order, the OLED, for all the people that got it. But sorted out, these consoles need to be packaged with something. I remember when I got my OLED, I was extremely psyched, but I had to go way out to Thousand Oaks to pick this thing up. It's a little bit of a drive, and I'm coming home and I'm popping this thing open in my passenger seat because I'm excited and traffic.
Yeah.
There's nothing but cardboard in here, and cardboard in the system, and I miss the days of getting a poster, a pamphlet, an insert, some kind of thing.
Even a pack-in game, for crying out loud.
Just a card, like a mail-in card. Yeah, pack-in game. So I'm hoping maybe people will be surprised when they open up their and they'll have some kind of glossy printing of some form, just a piece of paper in there.
Okay.
Some kind of printing.
A thank you from Anuma himself.
Yeah.
Should
Some
have bought
wax
the
stamp on
Mario
there.
Switch OLED. It came with your choice one of 3 games.
Oh, you're right. That's good.
That was sick.
And do you have a keep it up, Don? Anything you're pleased with?
Keep it up. I'm quite pleased with everything right now.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Keep it up, patrons. Look, everyone joining us, whether old or new.
Keep it up.
Keep it up, easy allies, right? All our allies here joining us. Feels good to be discussing Zelda of all things together right now.
Yes.
Doesn't it? Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't get much better than this.
You're right,
Don,
Don.
Keep it up, easy allies.
Don,
And
you are
all the
so
allies
right.
that are joining us right now. Yeah.
Cool. That's going to do it for us on Frame Trap. Thank you for watching. We appreciate it. Also, if you enjoy the show, leave us a nice comment or whatever. On podcasts or wherever you listen to the show, dude. Give us a nice review if you're enjoying it. That does help us. So we'd appreciate that. Yeah, ring the bell, all that good stuff, that YouTube stuff. We appreciate it. So thank you again for watching, everybody, and we will see you next time. Take care.